What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And tonight's live is going to be on Week 9 waiver wire ads. Yes, guys, Week 9 waiver wire ads. Now, listen, this is too early waiver wire. So I like to give it to you on Monday. That way you can get ready. You can start looking at the moves you're going to make. And then on Tuesday, I'm going to give you another video where it's basically focused on the guys that you should be picking up in a 10, 12-minute video. But this right here is a reflection. That way y'all can come to me and say, hey, TD, what about this guy? Or what should I pick up this guy? And this is reflecting from week 8. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting edge content. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Appreciate everybody being here as usual. Yes, sir. What's up, Tail Dog? I see you. I see you, Ian Taylor. Yes, sir. And guys, also I want to let people know if you come into the live, any guys, any stars and sits, any type of questions that you may have about, well, TD, you told me to play this guy. What happened? Why didn't he boom? Or what happened? Or this, you didn't tell me to play this guy and this guy boom. We can reflect today. I didn't put it in the title, but this is what the Monday lives are for. Yes, sir. Ed Tay in the building. What's up, Ed Tay? Let's get the likes up, fellas. Let's get the likes up. Yes, sir. Okay. Thomas Dotson in the building. What's up, Thomas? What's going on with you? So listen, guys, this is what I'm going to say. I don't want to get into the questions right away. I want people to come and stream this video and be able to get there too early waiver wire ads for week 9. So don't be angry or anything if I don't get to your comment right away. Let it build up, and then we can go through the questions after I get done with my 5 players that you should be picking up for week 9. 3 strikes in the building. I see you. I see you, Duncan Petrelli. I see you guys. I appreciate all of you. The first one's in here. Tail Dog is the first one in here. Tail Dog, I got to start doing something for the first ones in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's start. Let's begin. Appreciate everybody being here today. Okay, the first guy that I'm going to talk about, they actually is a quarterback. He don't have a game next week, but guess what? We don't care. The waiver wire is the waiver wire. You have to get these players before everybody else is on them. And the guy I'm talking about is going to be Shedeur Sanders from the Cleveland Browns. And listen, Dylan Gabriel is not winning. So eventually, guys, no matter how much Kevin Stefanski believes in Dylan Gabriel, he has to move on to Shedeur. And according to what people are saying out here in the news media, they saying that Shedeur might get the last 5 or 6 games of the season. So that's going to be our fantasy football playoffs, which we want that. Hopefully he plays well, right? Maybe we don't play in week 15, but maybe you play in week 16. So I believe the Shedeur Sanders, guys, is going to be the starter eventually for this team. And I believe guys like Jerry Jeudy, guys like David Njoku is going to eat. The receivers are going to be better. Right now, Dylan Gabriel cannot feed the wide receivers. Could it be a Kevin Stefanski situation? It could be, because when we watch Joe Flacco play with the Cincinnati Bengals, T. Higgins ain't struggling. We're not going to talk about Jamar Chase because this is Jamar Chase. We're not going to talk about Jamar Chase because that's Jamar Chase. But let's go down a tier and talk about regular players just on like a Jerry Jeudy level. T. Higgins is on a Jerry Jeudy level. Why is Jerry Jeudy not getting targets? Is it Dylan Gabriel's fault? Is it Kevin Stefanski's fault? So I believe, it's just my breakdown. I believe that once Shedeur Sanders is the starter, he will be targeting these wide receivers on like Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku. To me, even though he's getting targets and getting touchdowns, I think he would be even better with Shedeur Sanders. So this is the week I think you should go and hold Shedeur Sanders instead of waiting for week 10 to pick him up when they might make an announcement after the bye week. Everybody kept talking about the bye week with the Cleveland Browns. Are they going to give Shedeur Sanders the starting job after the bye week? They could. But either way, you will already have him. Right now, people are saying, well, I'm not picking him up because I got to win week 9. And you have a chance, especially if you got a winning record, to pick up and stash Shedeur Sanders. I see you, Tail Dog. I definitely want to talk about Justin Fields. So thank you for bringing him up, because that's a great point. And I told y'all what he is. And guys, if you see like, look, Rose loved ones, he's spamming the chat. I'm going to let y'all do it. Get him out of here. I'm not getting him out of here because he's saying Diddy. I'm getting him out of here because he's spamming the chat. We don't got time for that. So can one of the moderators get him out of here? Put him in timeout, please. You got your attention, Rose. You got your attention. You know you come here to Fantasy Good Sports. I'm gonna call you out, man. I'm gonna do you like your father do you. I'm not gonna patty cake you, bro. I'm gonna call your ass out. What's up, RG? Hey, get if you done, Rose, I won't tell anybody to block you. Are you done? I gave you attention, bro. Sometimes, okay, you're not. Get him out of here, guys. RG, get him out of here. Get Rose out of here. I'm not gonna continue with the content until you get him out of here. He loves it too. He says, yeah. Get him out of here. What's up, Xander? Thank you, Abby. Appreciate that, Abby. You can't? You're not a moderator? Okay, I'm about to do it right now. Okay, I got you in there. I got you in there, RG. You should be able to do it now. Also, let's see. Thomas, you should be a moderator, 2, 3 strike. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, RG. Okay. All right, let's move on to my running back. Let's move on to my running back, guy that you should be picking up too early for week 9 waiver wire. Thank you, RG. Subscribe, and my name is Drea. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Dre? Is it Drea or Dre? I apologize if it's not Drea. So, Ollie Gordon from the Miami Dolphins. Ollie Gordon from the Miami Dolphins. Yes, guys, so let me tell you about Ollie Gordon from the Miami Dolphins. So, this is the phases. I've been watching Mike McDaniels ever since he was the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers when they lost 2 NFC championships. And they lost those NFC championships. It was very, very close. So Mike McDaniels was a great offensive. That's why he got the Miami job. He's a great offensive coordinator. We cannot talk about his play calling skills. We could talk about how he manages his teams. We could talk about how he handles Tua. We could talk about how he handles Tyreek Hill, how he handled Tyreek Hill. But we cannot talk about his offensive play calling. His offensive play calling is elite. So this is what I'm saying about Ollie Gordon. You don't have Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle is volatile. He can have injuries from his shoulder, ankle. He's just volatile. He's a smaller wide receiver. Tua cannot take any more hits. So what do you do when Tyreek Hill, which is one of the best wide receivers that ever come through the NFL, when he's hurt and he's out for a season, maybe 2 seasons? What do? You go back to your roots. Mike McDaniels is a great run call guy. That's why you see a lot of window dressing with A-Chain. Now, reason why I've been liking Ollie Gordon, and I told y'all for a long time, up until the last 2 weeks, to keep adding Ollie Gordon is because what happens when he go into his run game mode, which is what he did with San Francisco when he had Tevin Coleman, he had Raheem Mostert, and he had Jeff Wilson. And all 3 of these guys can eat any single game. So that's what he's doing now. He's saying, you know what? We're going to confine this game. We're going to play smash mouth with Ollie Gordon and Devon A-Chain. And I'm going to show you my urgency like I'm a wizard. I'm going to show you that, but I'm going to do it when Tua needs it. And that's what he can do. Run, play action here, fake it here, hit Water on the screen, Water takes off for 60. He can draw up those plays. So what that tells you, that Ollie Gordon, guys, is going to be getting 10-plus touches every single week now. They don't have another weapon. Malik Washington is a good weapon, but he cannot get open by himself. Tua is not creating anything in the pocket to get Water a little bit of more time to get open to hit him for a big play. So what you have to do, you have to hit people in the mouth with the run game, and then you can play action off of that, and you can have open spots in the field where Tua is very accurate, and he can do it. That's why you see Tua run a little bit to the outside and hit a guy because wasn't nobody on that tight end because of the smoke and mirrors that Mike McDaniels draws up. So Ollie Gordon, guys, long story short, is what I'm trying to tell you is he's got to be a part of this game plan going forward. If not, they're not going to be able to win any games. You have to establish the run game. Guys, if you look at NFL teams and they start off bad and they losing a lot of games, you know how they win? Look at Cleveland. The run game. If they can't run the ball, they can't win the game. That's what lesser teams do to bigger teams. They try to establish the line of scrimmage. And I believe Ollie Gordon should be picked up. He shouldn't be on anybody's waivers, especially going through these bye weeks, and especially in 14 and 16 team leagues where ain't nothing on waivers. So if you see a guy like Ollie Gordon, you need to have him on your team. With a big D on it, bro. Do you know where I'm from, bro? I know you don't know basketball. Bro, this is Duke. Get the hell out of here with that, Mike. Yes, I got salt and pepper. But come on, bro. D, you don't know who the D is? This is Duke, bro. Look at my keychain. My keychain says Duke. I'm from Durham, North Carolina. I'm not from Durham, but Duke is from Durham. Come on now. One of the greatest basketball programs in the history of the game. Coach K coached there. And you talking about the D on the hat? Come on, bro. Okay. So Big Will deleted him. He want me to move on. So let me move on. Let's move on to, and against Ollie Gordon, they playing against Baltimore this week. I'm not saying the Baltimore is going to win this game. I mean that Miami's going to beat Baltimore with Lamar playing this week. But I believe Ollie Gordon will get 10 plus touches, and that's what we're seeking here. We're trying to find out who got opportunities, who we can plug in if we don't have anybody. All right, moving on to my wide receiver, it's going to be Shamir DK. This is not Shamir DK Metcalf. This is Shamir Dyke. That's his last name, D-I-K-E, but they call it DK. So I'm not calling him no Dyke. Don't flag me, YouTube. He's not that. I'm not using that terminology. But DK is his last name. And the guys, we thought it was going to be Alec Ayermanner. DK is out playing him. So if you need a wide receiver, listen, I talk deep league stash waiver wire ads. I just don't talk about who's easy to pick up and everybody can get to him. Of course, I'm going to talk about things that are the booming guy off the waiver, but DK needs to be picked up before he do any more. You need to pick this guy up because he is the guy that's going to take over. Calvin Ridley, guys, I expect him to get traded. He could not get traded, but I expect him to be traded. Why do you hold on to Calvin Ridley and pay him all this money and you're just going to lose an asset? He's not going to resign. Somebody's going to pick him up. So go ahead and trade him and get you a third or fourth or fifth round pick for Calvin Ridley, and go ahead and let DK and Alec Ayermanner learn how to be professional wide receivers. Get you a great wide receiver coach and teach these guys how to be professional wide receivers. And DK, to me, right now, and this going into this third quadrant, is the number one wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. I also like Tajay. So listen, if Tajay's still out there on waivers, go pick him up. If Tajay's still out there, go pick up Tajay Spears, guys. But yeah, Shamir DK going against the Los Angeles Chargers for week 9. I like him, and you can play him as a flex play. All right, let's move on to my tight end. It's going to be Colston Loveland. Listen, guys, I'm going to keep telling you to pick up Colston Loveland. I know he didn't have a great week 8. I told a lot of you to play him. I apologize if you played Colston Loveland, but it still was a good play. DJ Moore, not DJ Moore, but Luther Burton got hurt. He got a concussion. So somebody got to get those targets. With Cole Kmet being out, I'm telling you what Ben is telling Caleb right now. Bro, we got to get our tight ends involved. That's easy throws for you. And once you set up those easy throws, then you can take the shot that you want to take. You can run around and improvise later. But in the beginning of the game, the first and second quarter, you have to establish that you will go to the check down to Colston Loveland, hit him on a crossing route, hit some underneath players. You got to do the small things before you can make the big plays. And that's what Colston Loveland should be getting, 5 or 6 targets every single game. But it's on Caleb, and he should be learning that each week. So I like Colston Loveland for his draft pedigree. This is a first-round pick, and this is an elite wide receiver type catching tight end guy, right? He's really, really good in the passing game. So I love Colston Loveland, and they playing against Cincinnati, who is giving it up behind the dumpster. Cincinnati let the Jets come back and beat them with no number 1 wide receiver. Just Breach and Justin Fields. And I told y'all that Justin Fields could go off because he's Justin Fields. He don't need anybody with the way he plays the game. But we need consistency from him. But I'm going to talk about that later once I go through these players. About a couple players that I talked to y'all about playing that it wasn't good moves. And I'm going down with the ship. I made a couple bad calls this week. It is what it is. It ain't nothing to it. I still love the process. I still would tell you those players, but guess what? They were bad calls. So Colston Loveland, he didn't do good, but I still think you need to have him on your team. All right, going on to my DST of the week. It's going to be the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, listen, they may not be out there on your waivers. They could be, but I'm always going to go with the team that's chasing Tennessee and chasing Miami. But guess what? Miami got me off their ass. I ain't going to listen. Miami went to church. They've been going behind the dumpster, giving it up, right? They hear that I was making rumors about them, that I'm telling everybody in the neighborhood that, hey, listen, they be going behind the dumpster about 11 o'clock at night, and if you want to, you can go behind the dumpster with them. Guess what? They were like, no, I'm going to church. I'm getting that stuff off of me. So I got to leave Miami alone for a little bit. I know that might have been a one-off game because of Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins, but I respect Miami from digging deep, pause, and showing that, hey, listen, we are an NFL team and we can play hard. So, but yeah, I do like the Chargers this week. So if you see any Chargers out there on waivers, you pick them up and play them against the Tennessee Titans. Until the Tennessee Titans can go to church and pray and get that stigma off of them, we're going to keep targeting defenses against them. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, Martin Castillo, there's nothing wrong with it. I did say Coleman, and I still like Coleman, but guess what? It's not hitting. He didn't. It was Shakir, the PPR guy. So they going to have to find another phase, bro, but they're not going to be able to beat everybody through James Cook. People going to say, listen, we're going to double down and stop the run game with James Cook and Josh Allen. We're not going to let y'all run it. And who you going to throw it to? And I'm figuring that Keon Coleman has to get some targets down the field. You're not going to be able to just do it with Khalil Shakir. So in a couple weeks, it could be Keon Coleman. I just want to let y'all know that. I might not tell you to play Keon, but don't be surprised if you see Keon Coleman go off. And don't search for that. Don't chase that. Don't chase it. I told y'all to do it because this was a big bye week. So we needed to go to players that we normally wouldn't go to because it was a big bye week. But after this week, it won't be another bye week with so many teams having a bye. You won't have to go to Keon Coleman anymore. You won't have to go to Keon Coleman anymore. All right, let's get through some of these guys. Let's get the likes up. We got 18 people. We got 33 people in the building. We got 18 likes. Okay. Thomas Dotson says, what up, TD? Would you drop Managa for Bam Knight after the release of Michael Carter? Okay, there's been no talk from the Cardinals regarding Benson. Yes, and guess what you're doing? This is a vacuum move. So Thomas, if you want to play defense, you can go pick up Bam because you don't want nobody else to pick him up and play him and have a really good flex play until Trey comes back. Or you can pick up Bam Knight to play him this week. I'm not going to tell you don't pick him up unless you can play him. You can play D. At this point in time, knowing you, I've been talking to you for a while here, you can pick him up even though you don't have to play him. Me, personally, I'm only going to get to Bam Knight if I can play him. I want to have a trajectory of playing a player. I just don't want to pick up players just to play defense just because they're relevant. Sometimes I want to save my money, my fab. Sometimes I want to save my waiver priority. Sometimes I don't got the bench spot. But in this case, thank you for letting me know about the Michael Carter. I haven't saw that. I try to look at all the stuff that's going on, but I miss some things sometimes. I do have another job at this point in time, so I'm not just out here not doing no research. I do tons of research, probably more research than anybody know. But yes, I do think you need to pick up Bam Knight, but don't be scared to play him either, especially with no Michael Carter, and especially if you need a guy in your flex. So that's what I would say. But yeah, hell yeah, that's a great pickup. Thank you. And that guy, I will have him on my list tomorrow when I go more into detail. This is just too early to get the algorithms tight call, right? So I'm not really going into super detail because we still don't know every player that's going to be needed. We haven't heard a lot of information yet. But thank you for that, Thomas Dodson. Cutting edge content. Duncan says, what's up? What's up, bruh? 3 Strikes says, I might have took a 0 with QJ, but Tucker Craft led me to the dub for 5-3 record in the 3rd position. What up, bruh? Yes, sir. And that's what I tell you, 3 Strikes, and I want you to put this in the chat. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and see what you said, because you are a member of the channel, and I will, make sure to see what you're saying. But this is what I would say, 3 Strikes. It don't matter about that 0. That's why I'm always talking about the boom. Listen, a guy beat me this week. He had 2 zeros on his team. Now, I'm talking about 8, 9 starting spots. So it's a lot of time. There's a lot of opportunities to catch up. But he had 2 zeros. My guys had like 8 points in that position. Another guy had like 12 points. But that dude had like 55 points from a quarterback and another 40, 50-point game, maybe been Jonathan Taylor. And he caught up with me on those positions. That's why I tell y'all, don't worry about everybody playing great. Take an opportunity. Take a risk with QJ. Take a risk with Colston Loveland. Because you got Jamar Chase. You got James Cook. You got Lamar Jackson. So they gonna boom for you. So take a opportunity to take risks where you can go crazy boom. That's why I believe in boom players more than safe players. But listen, you can be safe and be a boom player too, so don't get it twisted. I love that statement, 3 strikes. Duncan says, behind the dumpster. Yes, sir. Duncan says, I love Shadir. You love Shadir. Yes, I do. And remember, y'all said I love Daniel Jones. Remember that, Duncan? I'm going to look down here at the bottom. Did people say I love Daniel Jones? Because this is what I'm always talking about, and I'm not looking from you from Duncan. Since I love Daniel Jones and I said that he was going to do this and it didn't happen, well, why not come this year and say, TD, you love Daniel Jones. He's hitting now. And I'm not talking about you, Duncan. I just want to get that out there. But this is what people do. Man, when I be on the play, you love Tyreek. They said that before he boomed. Now you want to talk about, well, you love Tyreek, he got hurt. So you've been waiting for 3 years to make a statement and make a comment against me, waiting for Tyreek Hill to get hurt or for him to have a bad season, so you can say, well, Tyreek Hill got hurt, man. He got hurt this year. What about last year? We talking about this year, TD. Well, didn't he go for 1,700 back to back? We're not talking about that. Everybody knew he was going to go for 1,700 yards. I'm talking about this year. So that's what I would say. Yes, I do love Shadir because when I watched him and I watched his breakdown of the tape and how he performs in the pocket, his anticipation is second to none. Archie Manning can't do it. Archie Manning's struggling. Shadir is not struggling like that. Thomas Dyson says, word, early ad might be Bam night. Being he's on a bye, he could be available to pick up right now before Monday night starts. I never think my leagues don't work that way, but you might be right. Interesting, Thomas. That's cutting edge content. Ted says, take a second chance on Fields. Listen, bro, this is what it is about. I'm never going to tell you who you should love, right? As a man, as a friend of yours, Tail Dog, I wouldn't tell you, man, that lady ain't for you. But I might say, bro, you okay with this girl, like, arguing with you and cussing you out sometimes? And if you say yeah, then I'm going to leave it up to you. So I don't want no Fields. I don't want anything going. It's too many good quarterbacks out there like Drake May. It's too many fish in the sea for me to get with a woman that has a bad attitude that does this. And that's what Justin Fields does. Now, listen, what I did, and I'm going to tell y'all, I'm giving y'all the gas. This is something that I saw that I never saw in him before. And y'all can say, I do this. I do the same thing with y'all all the time. Justin said, how do you feel, Justin, about this win? He said he started stuttering. He started getting a little teary-eyed. He said, I cried. And you know why he cried? Because everybody said that he wasn't that good. You need to lose your job. And he finally felt that shit. That's what we've been waiting for you to feel it, bro. And that boy went out there and went in fight or flight mode. Let me tell y'all something about fight and flight mode. And this happens with athletes. When you see Michael Jordan sick and he scored 40 or 50, when you see a quarterback go out there with a hurt body, his body is hurt, his knee is hurt, he finds that he's at the end of himself and you push him into a corner, he'll come out fighting and be a monster. He'll be perfect. We've seen certain things throughout the history of humankind. When humans got pushed to the end of themselves, they did some extraordinary shit. Listen, I'm a big World War II guy. Holocaust. I love the Holocaust. I love that shit. Everything about it, gas chambers. Not saying I love what happened. Not that. I'm talking about the information to learn what happened in history. But one of my favorite, I read a book called Night. That's one of my favorite books. And what I found out, they told these guys when they knew that NATO, which is America, was getting ready to come and beat their ass, they started telling people to run outside of the concentration camps. They started telling guys, hey, we got to go. So they got all the people that was in that concentration camp, and the guards got guns on them and said, listen, take off running. And they was on like RVs and vehicles, but these people had to run with no socks or no shoes on snow. And y'all won't believe this. Don't y'all know that people ran 30 miles without stopping and they wasn't even eating? They didn't have no nourishment in their body, but they kept running. Why? Because they knew if they stopped, You would die. And so when people get pushed into a corner, they can play great. And I saw it the first time with Justin Fields. I felt that. So if you want to go with that now, I love that he is at the end of himself and he knows what he needs to do to save his career. It ain't no, well, you need to like me. No, bro. Nobody's supporting you. Ain't nobody coming to save you, Justin Fields. So you have to go come to the end of yourself, know that everybody's cheering for you to get replaced. And he showed us, I ain't going for that. So I'm sorry to go through that whole situation, but I thought that was very important, and I thought this is going to be a turnaround and a bookmark for Justin Fields moving forward with his career. Let's see here. So Brian Ortega said, "What's good, TD? I got Kraft and Gaddison. Who would you move for wide receiver help? Probably whoever." So whatever you can get more for. I say Tucker Kraft because he's been doing a little bit more. So I would take Tucker Kraft, man, and go get whatever wide receiver that you want. I mean, get a really good one. That's what I really mean. Go get it. Don't go get no second sloppy seconds one or nothing like that. Go get you a top end wide receiver. I'm not telling you Jamar Chase, but Lad McConkey if you need a guy. I'm trying to think of wide receivers that are really good. Marvin Harrison, Brian Thomas Jr., Rome Odunze, Jalen Waddle. You can go get you a nice wide receiver. And I love how you like TD. I got two good tight ends. I don't need both of these guys to try to play matchups with. Let me give one of these guys so I can get better at the wide receiver position. I think you're killing it when you're doing that. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Make sure I got to everybody coming. Okay. Duncan says, I should definitely trade away Pittman for Derrick Henry. No, yes. I'm already assuming that you don't need a wide receiver. You got plenty of wide receivers, and you need a running back with some pedigree. That's what you're doing. So I love that. That's a good move. It's about to get cold. What's up, RG? Can you shout out my friend? Tell Dog said, is it time to bench Kamara depending on your league? Yes. If you're in an 18 league, you can't play Kamara. 10-team league, you probably can't play him. 12-team league, you're going to have to keep playing him. I do believe it gets better. But yes, Kamara, and that's one of my guys. I talked about him on my 70% hit rate. I'm pretty sure that's a guy. I got a couple injuries. I got about 3 or 4 injuries on my 70% hit rate. I listened to the whole video yesterday. So it's not a 70%. It's a little more like in the low 60s if I want to count the guys that got hurt as a miss. And I count the guys that got hurt as a miss because if they're not playing, they're not playing. But yes, Kamara is depending on your situation. I'm not going to drop him unless I'm in an 18 league. I'm not going to you don't have to start him either. I think he's just a hold on to guy and see what happens. I don't want to give anybody else my old furniture when I played $6,000 or $7,000 for a couch, and I just don't want to put it on the side of the road. If I'd rather give it away to a person that I respect or try to trade to get something out of it, I just don't want to give that up because it's Kamara. But it doesn't look good. I agree with that, Tail Dog. So if you need to bench him, you can. RG says, let the best team win in the Champions League. Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir. Down Syndrome says, laugh out loud, Kamara shouldn't be drafted. It just depends. Scott says, TD bringing the truth, cutting edge content. Yes, sir. Okay, you right, Drea. Okay. NFL Sec, yes. Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. Guys, let me go there. Let me look down. How's the sound? Let me know how the sound is. Is the sound good? Okay. Thank you, guys. Let me know the sound is fine. Brian Ortega says, got Brashard Smith going tonight. Got the dub locked up. Picked up Bam Knight for next week. Faces Dallas. or Stafford versus New Orleans. I don't know if Daniels gonna be back. You don't know if Jaden Daniels is gonna be back? Okay, well, I like Stafford. He's like hyper targeting Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Puka should be back. So I like that you go ahead and preparing for Daniels might not even come back. That's fine. I like that you went on and picked up Bam Knight. That's cutting edge content, Brian Ortega. You getting ready for whatever comes your way. That's what fantasy is about. We can't be perfect, but we can be ready for obstacles. And you ready for an obstacle. Great job. And I don't mind you having Brashard Smith in the lineup, and you already won it. Who cares, right? I love that. I love that attitude, that approach. I'm really big on approach when it comes to all types of life situations, even when it comes to fantasy. Eduardo, he says, bro, I had Franklin on my flex spot. You said Leggett was better start now. I'm going to lose because of you. Come on, bro. Hey, it is what it is. I still love Leggett, but hey, I apologize, bro. You can't get them all right. You can't get them all right. So I had Leggett going, and I felt Leggett had more of a situation to get 2 targets more than Troy Franklin did, with Harvey being used, J.K. Dobbins, Ingram on tight end day, Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant. But guess what? We seen that Troy Franklin is showing us some consistency. So, bro, I go down with the ship. My bad, bro. Hope you stay subscribed to the channel. We can't get them all right, bro. And this is what I say, Eduardo. When I give you a good take and I give you a good pick, can you come back and say, hey, man, you told me about to play this guy. It was great. Because I told people to play a lot like Drake May. It's a lot of players that I've told, and I haven't heard that. So I just want, as long as you being fair-minded, give them praise when I give you good picks, not just looking for the bad. That I don't like when men do that. That makes men look weak. Women do that. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Well, I bought you a new car, but you said I was ugly. So just be fair-minded. Appreciate you, Eduardo. Love the comment. Thomas Dodson says, Duke, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tail Dog says, is Isaiah likely going to boom soon, running out of patience? I don't think you should have the pay. I think you need to just play bingo with him. Like, if he starts booming, I want to have him. So if you okay, bro, so this is how you should look at it. That way you can pick the players that I'm picking, because if we don't see it the same way, then you shouldn't pick those players, because it's never going to make sense to you. So to me, bro, I'm picking up Isaiah Likely just to stash him, because I know Baltimore is going to have, it's not going to be Mark Andrews this year. We can see that. Mark Andrews he didn't do anything with Lamar. He didn't do anything since Lamar been out. So what can you do? Well, just stash Isaiah Likely just to see. I could trade Isaiah Likely later. If he doesn't hit, it doesn't matter. But if you are looking because you need him, then you need to go ahead and move on. He's not for you if you need something immediately. I just don't want people that say, hey, man, I didn't have no Likely and he's hitting, I just trying to keep that from happening. And I'm being patient with him in my league. That's just me. That's the way my approach is. But if you need a tight end right now, bro, there's a lot of other players out there that you can get. Harold Fannin, it's a lot of good tight ends that you can play that are going to get more targets immediately. Lamar and him hasn't played together. Lamar has been out for 5 to 6 weeks. Remember, Likely was out from the beginning of the season with a hurt foot. Thomas says, I heard potential Mark Andrews trade. We've been hearing that all season. Would he have got traded if Likely never got hurt? I believe so. Edward says, that Tail Dog, just watch for entertainment, not for advice. He doesn't know any more than you do. See, Edward, this is how you get blocked. That's how you get blocked. So, guys, if he, I do it, don't worry about it. Listen, that's fine, bro. If you're mad, you're upset, you're upset. It is what it is. Tail Dog says, Falcons defense gave it up, not behind, but in front of the dumpster. Highly disappointed. Me too. That makes no sense. But listen, it's fantasy. It happens. That's the first DST that I have completely missed on. And I have no clue. Come on, Atlanta. Come on, Atlanta. Kenny Foote says, Isaiah Davis, come on down. Come on, Isaiah Davis. Yes, he is with Breach Hall. I think he's going to be a pass-catching running back. He's going to have fantasy value. If Justin Fields can keep throwing it to the running backs, I like Isaiah Davis. Mark Castillo says, I started Franklin yesterday, bro. Like you said, might be 20 point, 30 point. I know. Thank you for putting that in there. That's what's going to make him get blocked. Because I know what I said, but I'm trying to be accountable so we can talk it up. But I told y'all guys, and I know I'm no different than any YouTube channel. I watch the flop. They come in him about crazy stuff too. It's just part of the game. And I forgot who told me this. Somebody said, man, this is what you signed up for. So it's all good. But he, to keep putting, is he being genuine or is he keep trying to troll? I'm not going to let you troll in my channel. If you want to be genuine and say, hey, man, come on, TD, man, I trusted you, brother. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Just your opinion. Kenny said, same here too. Yes, sir. Mark said, you said Coleman, but you will always say it's up to you who you play. Now, and I don't mean that it ain't about me, but I played Coleman. I broke it down. I still believe in Coleman, but I was wrong, Martin Castillo. I was wrong. But it was a couple people that I was right, because I was telling people to play Troy Franklin. And sometimes people want me to tell them to play Troy Franklin over... Now, Xavier Leggett, that's a good call. I mean, that's a good call out on the guy for me to say, because Leggett hasn't been doing a lot. He just had 2 games where he got 8 targets or better. But a lot of times, I'm not going to tell you to play Troy Franklin over a T. Higgins. Big Will says, Eduardo, I won a championship last year with TD's advice. Stop hating. Yeah, man, they going to hate. They going to hate. But that's why y'all need to address them in the chat. Y'all would keep out. It's like having, I don't know if y'all know a lot about farmland, but when you have like good cows and good bulls and good goats, the other goats act accordingly. But if you got one bad bull out there and he out there ramming the fence and ramming shit and trying to hurt the female cows, the other bulls are going to do what he's doing. So you want to bring in the vet bulls to show him how to act. So y'all need to show him how to act. So listen, you can call TD out. We all will talk about rights and wrongs, but ain't no trolling in here. We don't troll in here. So let me go down to the bottom and see some of this, see what he got to say. I don't see Eduardo, but I see Martin Castillo calling him out. I forgive you, TD. That's what he says. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Don't take it personal, Big Will. Just my opinion. And that's not an opinion. My opinion is that you took a donkey on the moon. Hey, that's just come on. That's stupid, ain't it? So don't you talk stupid. Don't talk stupid. Just be for real. And one player, man, QJ, people started QJ. That 0 is not going to hurt you, bro. So Xavier Leggett should not have hurt you with those 3 or 4 points. Okay, so we're not gonna address him anymore. Let's just go ahead and move on. I heard, okay, yeah, we talk about the Mark Andrews potential trade. Thomas says, grab DK and Dynasty early in the year. Yes, sir. You talking about Dyke or DK Metcalf? Which one you talking about, Thomas? Teldal says, Falcons defense gave it up. Okay, yeah, we talked about that. Mordecai says, I started Franklin, bro, like you said. Might be 20 points, 30 points. Same here. Mordecai said, you said Coleman, but always you say it's up to you who you play, right? Big Will says, I won a championship last year. Listen to TD advice. Stop hating. Thomas says, I just grabbed Rams D for next week versus the Saints unknown quarterback. There you go. There you go. Yes. Tyler Shote, they got to start Rattler. Tyler Shote look terrible. Martin Castillo says, are you a Celtics fan, bro? No, I ain't. I don't have a basketball team. I like the Chicago Bulls because of Michael Jordan. I like the Lakers because of Kobe. And I like a little bit of the Charlotte Hornets because of LaMelo. I'm not a Charlotte Hornets fan, but I kind of like LaMelo. I like Lonzo, his brother. So, no, I don't have an NBA team. I like Zion Williamson because he's from Duke. I'm a Duke fan. I'm not a professional NBA fan. I don't got any professional NBA teams because they change teams too much. But I love Zion Williamson. You come from Duke, I'm going to sit there and watch you play for your whole career. And Zion Williamson is him. I'm proud of him losing that weight this year and scaling up his potential. Elwater says, Big Will, not hating at all. I can also give advice like him and not hit anything and then make up reasons why they didn't work. I make up reasons. Okay. Kenny, brother, that's untrue. Kenny 49 says Bam Knight versus Dallas. I would say yes. I think that's a good, because Dallas defense is giving it up behind the dumpster. So Bam Knight is a good play, especially with no Michael Carter breathing up his neck. Big Will says, then start a channel and do it. Let's see your receipts, Elwater. Woo! Woo! Riley Peter says, in a 10-man league, full PPR fantasy, should I trade Rome, Chase Brown, and Khalil Shakir for CD and Amari Hampton? You're going to trade Rome, Chase Brown, and Khalil Shakir for CD and Amari Hampton? Yes, I like that, Riley. Do that. Yes. Eric Snyder says, Gaddison or Fanning rest of the season? Gaddison all day. Gaddison all day. Thomas Dotson says, my running backs are Warren, Dowdle, Bill, Harvey, Mark, and Managa. So I just dropped Managa for Bam Knight because I've been struggling who to start. Started Warren and Dowdle this weekend instead of who? Who did you start him instead of, Thomas? Harvey and Marks lost my matchup. Harvey hit, okay. So you played against Harvey and Marks. Okay, because they went off. But listen, this is what I was saying about Dowdle. We didn't know. So either you got to play Dowdle and just go with it, or don't play him at all. So you have to make moves according to your record, according to the week, according to everything. So you said my running backs are Warren, Dowdle, Bill, Harvey. Yeah, you got good running backs, but you're going to have to wait on Managai if you keep holding on to him, because he's not going to get those carries that we want him to get while DeAndre Swift is healthy. But Bam Knight with Michael Carter being let go is going to be good, and I would rather play a guy who's getting the goal line touches instead of a guy who's on a little bit of a better offense, and we don't ever know when you're going to play. So I do like the Bam Knight move. And you can always get back to Managa off for a waiver wire priority or waiver wire cash. And you've been struggling who to start. That's tough. I always say go dance with the girl that bought you. Sometimes it's a little bit, it's like, is that the girl that I came to the party with? You don't know, right? But I thought, what I'm saying, you made it the right starts. You started Warren and Dowdle. I don't think you had any better other plays unless you tell me you had somebody else. You got to do, sometimes, guys, it's just not your week. And this guy that's in the chat, and I want to use him as an example, not because he asked about why did I tell him to play Leggett. I'm doing it because he's trolling in the trap, so I'm going to troll him. And what I'm going to say is he's mad because of the results. If I'd have told him to play Zach Wilson and Zach Wilson go off for 25, he'd have said that's a great move, and that's crazy. Like, I'm not going to tell nobody to play a backup quarterback that actually somebody got hurt to come in. Don't look for the fantasy points. Look for the process. Either you like my process or you don't. The process should, in my opinion, should be like, okay, I played George Kittle. He got 0 points. I can't do nothing about that. So why not be mad about playing George Kittle? Because you know George Kittle was the right play. I'm not talking about this past week, but the week before. So you have to play guys and go down with the ship. I felt like Leggett was a better play than Troy Franklin, who Cortland Sutton have been having good games. I thought Evan Ingram could have a good game. I thought they could run the ball against Dallas. And Bo Nix, I'm not really been high on Bo Nix, but he is a solid quarterback. So that all of that stuff matters. That's why I like to tell y'all how I'm seeing it, how I'm visioning it. Y'all, I can show you my teams too. Do you have to just make the plays? Sometimes it's not going to be a perfect start. Father 3 says, Coach 7-1. Naptown, stand up. Yes, sir. Thomas says, Harvey and Marks lost my matchup. Got you. Cash in, cash out says, I picked 8-man quarterbacks plus 175 to 200 yesterday and hit on sleeper. Okay. I picked 8-man quarterbacks plus 175 to 200 yesterday and hit on sleeper. Good job, bro. Okay. So everybody says, at Big Will, all channels say the same thing, bruh. We don't need the advice. I would say different. I don't say the same thing. Nobody was on Tyreek Hill. Nobody was on Amon-Ra. Nobody was on Christian Watson. Nobody was on Lamar. Nobody was on James Cook. You think they were now because you have no sense of ability to go back and reflect from past stuff. You only can see what you need from your point of view that's in front of you. So, like I said, and I'm giving you a lot of energy. It's why, and I'm going to tell you something. It's because I care. Most people ain't going to talk to you. You still going to troll me, and I'm giving you I'm trying to see your way, but you don't care. That's what makes you look weak. You have no sensibility. You just want to troll here. Instead of you saying, oh, okay, he's accountable. You just say, they don't listen to him, da, 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 da. So I'm only going to care for so long until your ass is out of here. And it's not because you're disagreeing, it's because of what you're doing and what you're saying. Kenny says, I love Shadur as well. Yes. Rick Nichols says, hello, cow pie. Eric Snyder says, he will join the Browns. Right. Thomas Dodson says, saw a new tweet from Dave Canales today praising Rico Dowdle. You know why? He gave Chuba his process. Eric Snyder says, and suffer, no quarterback will prosper in Cleveland. You could be right, man. Hopefully that's not true, because we've seen other quarterbacks go to other teams and be good, and they haven't had a quarterback there in a long, long time. So hopefully somebody goes there and can ball out for Cleveland. Hopefully it's Shadur Sanders. Big Will says, crazy how you come on here for entertainment, trolling, but scared to go on Fantasy Pros, ESPN, etc., and do that. Continue to hide behind the screen, bro. Preach. Rick Nichols says, do you feel that hoof that 100 when you went up your cow paw rumpus and Denver gave you laugh out loud? You talking about the Dallas Cowboys? If that's what you're talking about, bro, that's fun and games. Yes, I'm mad that we didn't win the game. We could have played a little bit better than that. My cowgirls, cow pie, whatever you want to call it, I'm fine with that, bro. My Cowboys, they lost. So I take that one. Black Sax, what's up, bro? He said, Lava, I'm glad you cleared that up today, bro. Yes, sir. Black Sax says, Lava, I'm glad you cleared that up. You know them folks don't play about semantics. Right. Come on now. Martin Casey says, you at the shop today, bro? Yes, sir. And listen, guys, let me tell y'all something about why I'm at the shop. Eventually, y'all seen LeBron James' podcast. My barber owns this barbershop. I'm going to need a place to go. I don't want to pay $800 to rent out a barbershop to shoot a YouTube video. So as my YouTube channel grow and I'm doing content, we all sitting in the barber chairs and people cutting and we chopping it up about fantasy, this shit is going to be tight. But you got to understand, I built that relationship before the time happened. That way, I'm coming in here, I'm doing videos for free, and me and him was chopping up. We got a podcast. It's called Business Relationships. And I'm not getting on you, Martin, because you haven't never said anything. But a lot of guys are like, you at the shop today. Yo, you always at the shop. And they ain't got shit. They ain't got no YouTube channel, nothing. Or their YouTube channel is garbage. They don't know how to build anything. How you think I got to where I'm at, where I'm getting subscribers and people coming on and they super chat and they doing this? It didn't happen because I said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to act crazy. No, I wasn't doing no shit like that. I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to go down with my ship. And then say, oh, damn, I got 1,000 subscribers. Damn, I got 2,000. Damn, I got 3,000. Damn, I got a chance in fantasy football on YouTube to have my own business. So that's why I'm at the shop. I'm out at the shop because I need to come here and I can't do YouTube because my phone don't work unless I'm at the shop. No, I come here because it's a business move. This shit is going to be tight. This is brothers sitting in here chopping it up. This shit is going to be, ain't nobody else doing this on YouTube. And guess what? Some of the trolls in the channel, when my shit grow, they ain't going to talk about none of that. Hey, what now, man? I never said, who's that? Is that the show you want, bruh? I'm doing the show that you want. Let me stop. Come on, TD. Focus on the content. Rick says, are you feeling the pain? Not really. I ain't feeling the pain, not really, because I love fantasy football. As long as my fantasy football teams are winning, and listen, in the $100 leagues plus, I'm good. I'm telling you guys, look, I love my Cowboys. I love Duke. I really do. But fantasy guys ruined me. It's like a drug. I want to watch the games for my fantasy team. I love my Cowboys. I love Jerry Jones. A lot of people, are you a black man? You like Jerry Jones? Yeah, I do love Jerry Jones because that man is a businessman. I don't give a damn what you feel in your mind and what you think about me as a person. I'm going to copy your business acumen. So, Nah, I don't feel the pain. I'm good. As long as my team. Now, I had a couple of leagues, $100 leagues that I didn't win. I lost by 4 points in a couple of them. One of them, I got a couple players to go. I don't know if I'm gonna win today. Also, I'm going against one of my best friends, which is RG. We are battling today in the Champions League. So he called it out on the shop as he should. That's my homeboy. I love him to death. I'm gonna whip that tail, bro. Don't call me out because I'm gonna take you behind the I don't want to say dumpster because that's not. I don't want to infer that, but I'm gonna whip that ass. I'm gonna get you, RG. That's my homie though. That's my homie. Black Sex is great analogy. Thank you. I don't know what because I do analogies all the time, so I don't know which one you're talking about. Rick Nichols says, laugh out loud. Question: why are you wearing that Bonzo hat? You cow pie. Come stop it, bro. Come on now. It's funny, but it's not getting funny. But I'm wearing the hat because I'm a Duke fan, and Duke is one of the best programs in the whole world. Guess what? We smarter than all your people that's around you. We very, very smart. 4.0 GPAs. We got the coach that created the system that everybody runs in the NBA, not in the world, because the overseas they've been running that spread you out and shoot threes. But Coach K brought it to Duke, and guess what we did? We beat one of the best college programs in the whole world. Is Carolina. Carolina had more championships than Kentucky and everything. They had Michael Jordan, they had Sam Perkins, they had Dean Smith. We used to whoop that ass. Why? Come on out here. Come on, Antoine Jameson. I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna beat you off the dribble. And I'm telling them, and y'all got them white boys that can't play. We be shooting their face off. Now everybody shoot threes. Coach K been shooting threes for 40 years. I said what I did. We shot threes for 40 years. Duncan says, good analogy with Justin Fields, fight or flight, bro. Yes, sir. And that's what he got into, and you saw the best of him. Yes, sir. Pittman Jr. for a tight end. Yes, go get the if you need to get rid of Pittman Jr. and go get you a level up on the tight end, that's fine. I think that's what you're saying. You trying to get rid of trade Pittman Jr. and go get you elite tight end because you got plenty of wide receivers. Yes, that's fine. Black Sack says, haven't been able to get rid of DJ Moore, but do you think he's going to have more production now that Caleb is looking better? And I like that you're saying that, Black, because a lot of people don't think Caleb is playing good because why? He didn't have the fantasy numbers. They want him to have the fantasy numbers. That's the only way they're going to recollect it. But guess what gives me the strength, and that's what makes me, and God gives me the blessing to hush him up at the end of it. Once they didn't, you don't know nothing. And then it's a guy that used to troll me all the time. I haven't seen him in a while. Why? Because a lot of my shit that I'm saying is hitting. CMC, he wanted, bruh, soon CMC get hurt, guys. You know how many people would have came, but I took a stand. And guess what? I'm not telling y'all to blow no smoke up my butt. Pause. I'm not telling y'all to pat me on the back. But guys, what guy went out on a limb like that, knowing that CMC could go down with a fucking toe injury? But I said, no, take him. And it wasn't just I was trying to do it to be different, but I was like, it's no way that I can leave that on the board. I'm like, this is the #1 player in fantasy of all time, the way PPR is, and I'm just going to leave that player because he got hurt last year and he was fully healthy the 2 or 3 years before since he's been in San Francisco. I'm not leaving that. And it hit. Everything ain't going to hit for you. All my stocks is not going to grow 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000. But 1 or 2 of them, right? 1 or 2 of them, right? But yes, I love that you're saying Caleb is playing better, and that's going to help DJ Moore. And DJ Moore now with Luther Burton, you're a rookie, you get hurt, you'll never come back and get that position no more for this year. So I do think now that's how we have to reassess it. DJ, like, I can play. And so now I think DJ Moore is going to get more targets, and Luther going to have to just be like a deep threat, 1 or 2 targets a day. They tried to move him into the DJ Moore role, but DJ is not going to let it happen. DJ is like, I can play too. Kenny says Henry doesn't catch any passes, right? And it doesn't matter because he's special. That's like saying Shaq don't make three-pointers. He can't shoot free throws. Who cares? This is Shaq. Derrick Henry is Shaq. He would dunk on you every single time. If he start getting that ball, it's 200 yards coming. We saw it for 150, 170, 200, 150, 170. When he was in his true prime, now he's playing with Lamar because it's just like the NBA. When you go to, you playing with Magic Johnson now, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, earlier, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could go to Milwaukee and hook shot your ass to death because he was a young man running, blocking shots. Then he got older and he couldn't run up the floor like he used to as LA had traded for him. So they brought in Magic. Then he released him again. Now Cap done won 2 or 3 more championships. So that's the same thing with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, when he was young, he running through, beating everybody, running over people, running 80-yard touchdowns. And then he got older in those 2 years. They struggled in Tennessee because he couldn't do it by himself no more. Then he got with Lamar. He about to go off again. So I love Derrick Henry. I don't need him to catch passes like CMC. I don't need him to be like Jahmyr Gibbs. I need him to just, when you get that ball between the tackles, you get 5-6 yards a carry. That's all I need. But if you need a running back, Duncan says, sound is perfect. Thank you. Tron says, I had Gainwell to handcuff Jalen Warren, but just decided to drop Gainwell for Bam. There's nothing wrong with that. I respect that. Guys, I'm going to go a little bit longer. Okay, hold on. I got a super chat. Let me get to the super chat. But the games get ready to come on, and I got to do my lineups. I haven't did my lineups yet. Super chat from my homie, D-Lion. And, bro, I'm mad about Darnell Washington. Guys, the ones that I told you about Darnell Washington, I still like him. But it didn't hit, so I apologize. That was a wrong call. That's the end of it. That was a wrong call. No excuses for that. I ain't going to say no excuses because the process of it was the process, but it didn't hit. So I feel bad for y'all teams that didn't hit, right? I had a little bit more misses than I have had. Out of like 8 weeks, I probably only had maybe 1 or 2 bad weeks where most of the weeks, 1 week it was crazy. 1 week all the players. Chase Brown is back hitting again. So it's a lot of good picks. But he says, what is football? Go Dodgers. Since the Steelers, right? What is football? Now you about the Dodgers. Now you on the Dodgers. Come on now. Come on, D-Lion. He said, I tried to get Shaq off your hands, level out all the old. I know you did. I ain't going to do it because I know what he is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Abby says, you single? What state you are? Yes, Abby. So I'm assume you a girl. We don't want to be pausing too much. I'm assume you a girl, but we know how YouTube is. But yeah, I'm from North Carolina. Yes, I'm from North Carolina. Let me see. Appreciate the super chat. No, it's not crazy. Fred says, yo, what up? Is it crazy to sell high on Breach? No, it's not. No, it's not. Make your team what you need your team to be. Don't worry about what it's going to be for somebody else. Make your team great. Black says, I be wanting Leggett to be good too. Right, but bruh, if you go back and look at his last 2 weeks, he was getting targeted. I think it's Andy Dalton. I thought it was Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton this team went downhill because of Andy Dalton. I thought it would be the opposite. I thought Andy Dalton would be to come in, but guess what? Andy Dalton has lost something. He's not the same player. Maybe he is. Maybe it was just a bad game script, but I like Leggett. I played him in my league. I played him in a couple leagues. It's not that I want him to be good. It's only a couple players that I would say that I'm biased to if I'm just really want to self-reflect. Tyreek Hill. And I would say Daniel Jones because I'm like, man, people say this was a bad, and it's happening. So that's the only ones I want. I don't want Leggett. I'm just going off of what targets he got, and I don't got nobody else to play, right? So that's why I told people to play Leggett. Tron says, would you trade Travis Hunter and Goddard for Tucker Kraft? No, I'm not trading Travis Hunter. Listen, you can get something better than Tucker Kraft for Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is getting ready to break out, bro. Brian Thomas Jr. has been in trade rumors. So I would play Travis Hunter as a wide receiver 3 or a flex play. Or possibly Devontae and Fanning for Tucker Kraft. If you need a tight end that bad, no, you got Goddard. Man, don't do that. Let Travis Hunter be him. You don't need to level up at the tight end position when it's already a little bit volatile. I would just stay with God. You keep using Goddard and hold on to Travis Hunter. Dean James Talley says, if you had to cut one for the rest of the season, who would you cutting or trading? I probably would trade Joe Flacco because I know I can get the most for him. Whatever I could get right now, whoever I could get the most for, I would trade. Because I don't think any of those guys are going to ruin your chances of winning your league because Jackson Dart is good. People might not want him. but he's always going to give you a safe floor because of his rushing ability. Jaden Daniels is going to be good, but how long are you going to wait? You don't want to ruin your team by the time he comes back. It doesn't matter anymore. Joe Flacco is really good. People like him. They don't think Joe Burrow is coming back. They like that targets with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So people like Joe Flacco right now. So if you can get off Joe Flacco and get you a Tech McMillan or whatever you needed for your team, I think it's a good move. Thomas says, at Tron, look for Rams, Seahawks, or Jags D as their bye week might be available. Okay. Cutting edge content, Thomas. Rome says, appreciate you, bro. Vidal won me my week, and Rico and Kamara are both having floor games. Right. And but you don't hear nobody talk about Vidal, and I told people to play Vidal, and guess what a lot of people said? Sit Vidal. But you don't hear nobody talking about it. Not y'all. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all see the trolls that come in here, and they come in here consistently trolling, or they act like they're a subscriber, but they really looking for me to fail. Guys, it's weird within the African-American community. I know a lot of you that aren't African, feel like, TD, don't bring that up, man. I don't want to be feeling weird, but no, I want to talk that way around y'all to let y'all know ain't no cap over here. I don't feel no type of way about anybody. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it honest. But a lot of people like to, when they see African-American man doing this, another black man wants to come in and target me. Like, look at it. Y'all seen, here you go right here. It's the Samuel L. Jackson in Django. Who that dude on that nag? That's what they said. Who that dude on that screen? Who he think he the stuff with that gold chain? Look at him. I'm telling you. I'm telling you now. Mark Castillo says, this is cutting edge. It's your decision or not at the end of the day. TD is the GOAT. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Jay Moore says, Pat Surtain out 4 to 6 weeks with a pec injury. That defense is going to take a little bit of a hit. Fred says, yo, right up. Is it crazy to sell high on breach? No, we talked about that already. Thomas says, I played Marvin Mims for a bye week replacement. He was the only Broncos wide receiver who didn't get any love, and it happens that way. That's why I thought it could have been Troy Franklin. Eduardo says, I'm only up by 5 points tonight, and my opponent has Worthy. Yeah, that's going to be rough, bro. Worthy can boom. Eric Snyder says, Gaddison or Fanning rest of the season. I'm going with Gaddison. Tail Dog says, Eduardo, TD does the research I don't have time to do. Bro produces cutting-edge content. Thanks for being here. Like and subscribe. Appreciate that, Tail Dog. Jay Moore says, I've been playing New England DST. Do you like LA Rams this week? Who are they playing, bro? I haven't prepared like that yet. I'm just giving. I looked at the Chargers because they was the Tennessee. I'm looking for the teams that's giving up behind the dumpster. So the Chargers told me that, but I don't know who LA is playing. So I'm not going to talk about any of the DSTs before I know who they playing. All right, let me go through this. I'm going to go through the subscribers real quick, or the members, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Bring back my Sonics. Yes, I like the Sonics, man. Those colors was nasty. Martin says, that's why I said Celtics. I thought Tatum was from there, but it's K. Yes, he ain't from here. It's Coach K. And Kyrie Irving, that's one of my favorite players. J-Dab says PPR 5 half point tight end premium, Ertz or Bill. With Mariota, I'm going with Bill, not a science guy. 35-point lead and facing Mariota and Terry. Yes, I would play Bill. Over Ertz. Thomas says, no, I said Harvey and Marks. Okay. Therefore says, what's good, TD? Should I drop Monaga for Isaiah Davis? Yes. You can move on and get, because Isaiah Davis, that's how they're going to try to win games. After they won that game, they're going to try to win all their games like that now. So, yes, I agree with Thomas Dotson. I would do it too. J-Dab says, it's fantasy football, all they crap shot. What a loser coming in hating cost of results. This advice not a promise. Come on now. Come on. Did you get Alabama hat? No. I'm a Duke guy. I picked up Christian Watson before the week. That's good. I see. Now, I love Christian Watson, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep up and give you 85 yards every single week. But I love Christian Watson. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Eduardo says, no, I'm not trolling you, TD. I appreciate you. Thank you. But listen, this is what I would chastise you. You right. You just speaking your opinion. But, bro, don't listen. You can say, TD, you missed. You need to tell people that you missed. That's fine. You supposed to do that. But you don't supposed to be like, while I'm listening to this, you see that's the hate shit. There's something wrong with you on the inside to say, bro, who cares? Like, I don't see women, they might not be attractive, but I'm not going to say, hey, you're not attractive. You're not. That's weird, bro. Nobody got time for that. I'm not telling you can't go and have your own opinion, but just stick to the script and stick to your team and say, listen, you was on this one, Titty. You know, hopefully you can make a better call. I'm okay with you holding the fire to me, bro. I want that, but I don't want you to come in here and trolling to try to get other people to come in and do the same thing. This is not a troll channel. This is a hold accountable channel. Sports Meme says, you already at 4K subs. You're doing great. I know, bro. I'm proud of my channel. King Sirius says, if you need a spot start, I think Knight is a top 24 option this week and will continue to produce as long as Benson remains out. Jay Moore says, Bijan was so underwhelming for me this week. Yeah, man, that was another thing. That's another reason why I'm losing in some of my leagues. That's crazy. Black says, do you have Ollie Gordon over T. Spears, or do you think Burks is worth a stat? Trey Burks is worth, I think you're talking about Trey Burks, right? Is worth a stash. But no, I got T. Spears over Ollie Gordon because I believe that he could have a better role. And even if him and Tony Pollard is still splitting, I like Tajay Spears' role with Ollie Gordon waiting behind Devon A-Chain. It says, I was high enough in priority to get Gaddis, and he might save my season. Come on now. All right. Thomas says, I'm down by 15 with Bill versus Kelsey. I'm toast, right? No, because Bill could have a long run and be ahead of Kelsey, and you could win it. It's possible. Intelligence says, I think people get mad because you get paid for this advice. They hold you to a higher standard. Okay, I like that, Intelligent. They probably do. But they don't talk about the things that I hit. That's what makes them weird, bro. Like if they went in here and said, yeah, man, I know you only at 45%, you missed on this, and had the facts, I couldn't say nothing. I'd be like, he's right, guys. But he coming in and just trolling, that's what makes it that way. But you're right, Intelligent. I love that. Says, happy Monday. Hey, everyone. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you. Holy Inspiration says, Coleman hasn't had more than 45 yards in any Buffalo other games. Are we holding? No, not at this point. But I love the upside and the touchdown upside that he had, and they're not using them anymore. KJ says, I have Daniels, Barkley, Chase Brown, London, Gaddison, Flex, Charbonnet a bit. Should I sell high on Kraft? Adams, London, Kraft, Gaddison. Yes, you should. And get something nice. And you got Gaddison and be okay with it. But make sure you get something that you can start over all those guys. If you get somebody and you got to play matchups with them, KJ, don't do it. Make sure you're getting a tier where you always going to put him in if you're going to trade on a guy like Kraft. You could trade on Gaddison and get that type. Trade on Kraft and get you a stud. Pause. Is Christian Watson worth a pickup and stashing this week? Yes, he is. Every player that performs good, if you got room on your bench, it's okay to stash him. Even though I might tell you, no, I'm not worried about him. He's just another guy. That doesn't mean that if you got room that you don't do it. But what I'm telling you, I don't have any information on that guy right now. He's just a guy out there. Just because he got a couple snaps and a couple catches and one touchdown doesn't mean he's going to keep it going. I do really like Christian Watson, but right now, if you can hold on to him and see him do it for 2 of the 3 games, not 2, I would say 3 because there's so many damn mouths. They still ain't got Golden going. Golden went back, and they gave Christian Watson his targets. This is weird. Would you trade away Dak and Ibuka for London and Rome? That's what that's what CYDC says, 53. So would you trade away Dak and Ibuka for London or Rome? Now, I think that Godwin's going to be out for so long, and I think Mike Evans is going to be out so long that I want to keep Ibuka. Dak is a great pocket quarterback. London, with that injury, and Rome being volatile on this offense, I would rather keep Dak and Ibuka. And last comment of the night. This is the third quadrant. The temperature is dropping. It's time to get these running backs and earn that money. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thomas says, we get an extra 4 points for 40-plus plays. So Bill smash. I'm actually down 17. My Bill versus Kelsey. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully, y'all hit the like button. Y'all got the likes up. Appreciate everybody. Y'all be safe. Peace.